The door is not locked to you anymore. You may enter of your own free will. There is not much time left to do it. There is a town not far from here. It's called Deadwood Falls. At first glance, there isn't anything unusual about the town or its people. Simple beings going about their simple lives without a moment's thought about how they might fit in the bigger picture. Because there is a bigger picture. Now the town will be abandoned. It will be seen as a ghost town. And this is an apt phrase, as everyone in town will be trapped in it, much like ghosts. To live their lives, playing endless variations on their silly stakes of fear. Actually, I'm surprised you did not find me sooner. I sent you the postcard because it was imperative that you return to this town. It was imperative that you come back and bring this circle to a close. Anyway, I used to make shoes. It was hard work. But then again, it was a passion of mine. To make something that served as a practical purpose, but could also be beautiful. The best art there is. My life was so different back then. I lived in that town, Deadwood Falls, with my family, my wife Natalia, and our two children, Gustav and Nelly. We were happy back then. I know that now. But back then I longed for something else, somewhere else, someone else maybe. The restlessness of youth, perhaps. I began to find myself suffocating in that same place that I used to find so comforting. And as time went by, I began to find more and more reasons to stay away from home. I began to find myself drifting to the city more and more. That's where I met a woman who was more enchanting than any I had ever known. I lost all sense of time and place in her presence. And she knew. She asked me one night, she asked me if I wanted to be with her forever. She knew I did. She asked me if I wished that everything that kept us apart could vanish in an instant. She said that if I wished this, she would be mine forever. I didn't know what I was doing back then when I whispered in her ear, yes. For me, it was merely a fantasy, a wish made in a dream. It was late when I returned home that night. There were fewer lights back then, so the night looked brighter in the moonlight. That's when I saw him the first time, 20 yards away. Tall man dressed in black, pale, white skin, and a pair of eyes that looked like lumps of coal. He stared at me and smiled. And then he said, "Your wish is granted." My wish? Then he turned around and walked away. It seemed like he was gliding. His feet were not even touching the ground. It was inside the house that I discovered what he had done to my family. There was blood all over. Have you ever seen blood in the moonlight, young man? It's black, shiny like oil. And I was all covered in it. My wife, who loved me and cared for me and did nothing else, was dead. My children, whose hands I had held lovingly night after night, both of them dead too. Later on, I discovered that the man I had seen outside was named Viktor Krezik. I looked for him all over for years. And as time went by, I was lost in his world. Soon enough, people started to call me Viktor Krezik, as it seemed I looked exactly like him. So much so, after a while, I stopped correcting them. It took years for me to realize that I had not become that thing, that man that I dreaded, hated, feared so much. But rather it was me, all the while. These were my hands that slit the throats of my poor children while they slept. These were my hands that cut the head of my long-suffering wife while she stared at me, seeing nothing. There's little I can do to wash the blood off my hands. The stain goes way beyond the skin now. I know I cannot be saved. I cannot save you either. All I can do now is just show you the worst part of yourself. The part that you keep hidden from everybody else. Oh yes, I can see it in you. Can you feel it yourself? Yes, I think you can. You now know why you have been sent here. And that's it. I've done what I can do.